What's the weather really like in Boise, Idaho? Let's dive into one of the top questions I get asked. What's the weather like in Boise? And stay tuned to the end where I talk about how much snow Boise gets. Are you planning a move to the Treasure Valley or elsewhere in Idaho? I'm Rachel, a local native and real estate agent. I'm excited to provide you with helpful tips and insights about the area before you make your decision. Let's start with just some practical weather advice. Boise is in a high desert climate, which means it is very dry here. We get the dry cold and dry heat and at times lots of wind. If you're not used to that, you'll definitely want to stay hydrated and have a good lotion on hand. Boise does get rain, about an average of 11.5 inches of rainfall per year. That being said, we have rarely humid days, but when we do, you definitely feel the humidity in the air. Boise's cold season runs from about November to March, with average temps of the highs being in the upper 40s and the lows being in the 20s. Boise's warm season runs from about June to September, with the average highs in the mid-90s and the average lows in the low 60s. We do have summer temperatures of 100+ degrees, which we are experiencing right now. Yes, Boise does experience 4 distinct seasons. Springtime is my second favorite season here in Boise. You start to see the buds in the trees, the robins are back singing, shoots of new life are popping up all over, and the local foothills turn into a brilliant green. You can't help but want to be out in the spring sun and blue skies as everything comes back to life. Boise usually has spring mid-March through the end of June. Spring can still be quite chilly, so you'll find yourself layering up in the mornings and taking layers off later in the day. The mornings are usually in the 30s and 40s and warm up anywhere between the 50s and 70s later in the day for the perfect jean and t-shirt weather. Boise is definitely known for its random weather changes. Just like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. Boise can see spring snowstorms where one day it's lovely 60-degree sunny weather and the same day or the next day we have snow on the ground. Come June, we start to see higher temps that can reach into the 90s. Thunderstorms are another late spring and early summer weather change that Boise experiences. Our thunderstorms can come rolling in very quickly with some pretty intense high winds. Next, on to summer. Some great things about Boise's summers is it stays light till 10 p.m. and usually the evenings cool down to the 60s and 70s, so it's a cooler part of the day to be outside. Whether enjoying a late dinner on the patio, going on a walk along the river, or a mountain bike ride in the foothills, the local bodies of water or a pool feel extra refreshing and a great way to escape the heat. July and August are our hottest months with 100+ degrees, just like we are experiencing right now. July and August can also be the time when we start to have forest fires, and whether local or in neighboring states, the smoke settles here in the valley and can oftentimes put our air quality in the orange and red category for unhealthy. Over the last several weeks, we have been experiencing that smoke settling here in the valley due to all the neighboring fires. Now, let's talk about fall. If you've ever heard the quote, "I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers," that's me. I love fall, and it is my favorite season here in Boise. If you want an array of astounding and breathtaking colors, fall in Boise will showcase them. With Boise being the city of trees, we don't lack for splashes of colors as the leaves change all around the valley. One of my favorite things to do in the fall is to take a day trip up the mountains to see a whole other display of the beautiful fall colors. Fall in Boise lasts roughly 6 to 8 weeks. Fall temps usually see low 30s to upper 40s and the high temps of 50s to the low 80s. The mornings do get chillier, but it makes that hot cup of coffee extra enjoyable. Nights start to cool down more as well. But one great thing about fall nights is seeing the harvest moon, and our sunsets are outstanding. Boise can also experience a teaser fall where we think fall is here to stay and the next few days can feel like summer again. Last up, winter. Winter in Boise comes the beginning of December and it is the shortest season. The thing with Boise winters is we never know what kind of winter we will have. On average, our winters are fairly mild with average low temps in the 20s and average high temps in the 40s. January can be bitterly cold, and along with that, this is usually the month that we will see an inversion, where blankets of dense air envelop the valley and it can feel gray and dreary. You can escape the inversion, though, by heading up to Bogus Basin, our local ski resort, 30 minutes away, or head out towards the mountains. Boise winter days are short. The sun comes up around 8 a.m. and sets around 4:30 p.m. And finally, snow in Boise. As I said, we never know what kind of winter we will have, and the same goes for snow in Boise. We never know if we will get some snow or how much. On average, we can see around 20 inches of snowfall per year. And even if we do get snow, we rarely have snow days where there is no school. Another common question that comes with winters in Boise is, do you need all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive? The general answer is no. But if you do plan to go up to the mountains regularly or to one of our local ski resorts for skiing and snowboarding, then it would be a good idea. If you enjoy change, beautiful colors, the cold, the heat, sun, snow, wind, and sunsets, then you can't beat the four seasons here in Boise, Idaho. And even with four seasons, Boise really does have a mild climate year round with over 200 days of blue skies and sunshine.